Patrick Jamal Miller, and it has always been my dream to be a hero. And I'm not talking about the I gave you my parking spot type of hero. I'm talking about the I want to pull somebody out of a burning building or kick a robber in his throat and knock the gun out of his hand. No, I'm serious. When I was young, no joke, I used to run out of my house in the middle of the night because I would hear car crashes, and I wanted to be first on the scene. I wanted to see if I could help somebody out. It was to the point that I had decided that I was going to apply for the Oakland Police Department. I mean, I went after it. I passed all the exams with flying colors, but I did not get into the academy. It was two reasons. One reason was I was young, and they weren't looking for no young bucks trying to be a cowboy. And that's what I wanted to be. But the second reason, well, remember how I said my name was Patrick Jamal Miller? Well, I found out that wasn't true. My name was actually Kokmiel Gabriel Abraham. See, unbeknownst to me, my mom 7 years back changed my name legally and did not tell me. Now, I'm sure you're probably asking yourself, well, why would your mom change your name and not tell you? Well, this is my hero origin story. See, I was raised by my grandparents because when my mom was young, she was homeless, and instead of swallowing her pride and saying, I'm gonna move back in with my parents, she said, no, I'm gonna just let my son live here, and when I get back on my feet, I'll come back to get him. Well, she never got back on her feet. My mom went through a lot too. She was physically and sexually abused, and she went through multiple domestically violent relationships. One of my first memories is my mom holding a knife in front of my face and screaming, I am going to kill your father, and you will never see him again. The same mom decided she didn't want me living with my grandparents anymore. So she thought this would be the logical thing to do. I'm going to kidnap him, move him from Oakland, California to Atlanta, Georgia, and to stop my parents from finding him, I'm going to change his name to Kokmiel Gabriel Abraham. She stopped just short of kidnapping me, but she figured, he'll never figure out how to change his name. But I did. And it stopped me from going into the police academy. See, my mom, she may have ruined my chances of becoming a police officer, but she couldn't stop me from being a hero. See, I learned something about my mom that day. She grew up in a world where she was neglected, rejected, and abused. And as far as she could see, there were no heroes. And the way she responded to those situations was to leave me rejected, neglected, and abused. But the difference between me and my mom was I saw heroes. Sure, they weren't my mother and my father, but they had the answers and the keys that I needed. And I knew if I could just get close to them, they would change my life. And they did. See, what I figured out was that my mom, if she would have just only had a hero who would just step up in her life in her most vulnerable moments, it would not have only just changed her, but the lives of my brothers and me. And then the hero in me began to perk up, and I thought, well, what about those other young people who are just like my mother, my brothers and me, who just need a hero, a mentor who could step up into their lives? We could change not only them, but generations after them. So I've made it my purpose to be a hero, to see young adults who just need somebody to replace a mother, a father, a brother, a son, an uncle, a cousin, somebody who would make a difference. Albert Einstein said, we live in a dangerous world, not because of those who do evil, but because of those who do nothing.